Today we're looking at the age-old question of is it cheaper to buy factory ammunition or to roll your own? Now, before we get into today's topic, I need to talk to the manual reviewer person at CommieTube. What happens here is I follow YouTube's rules. I look through them carefully, I make the video, I upload it, YouTube's algorithm inevitably demonetizes it, and then I can click a button for it to go to a manual reviewer. So manual reviewer person, I'll just save you the time. I'm not violating YouTube's rule of showing how to manufacture ammunition at all. I'm only talking about the economics here. So let's look at our components. We have the brass or the case, then the primer at the back, then we have the powder, and then the actual bullet or the projectile. So we're now at the computer. We have to make a couple assumptions as we're doing this. First of all, are we going to count the cost of brass, and are we going to count the cost of your time in reloading? So for me, let's talk first about time. To me, I'm not considering my time because factory ammo does not equal reloaded ammo. I'm trying to customize it with different bullets, different powder weights, everything, to try to get better ammunition, which I just can't get from the factory. So they're not really equivalent in that. And also, I really enjoy reloading. I think it's fun. Yes, it can get tedious if you got to crank out 200 if I'm doing a big video or something. But for me in general, I like that time. And so I'm not counting it as work time. Now, brass. I really think most people have brass in their garage. Every time I shoot, no matter what, even if I don't think I'm going to reload that cartridge in the future, I always save the brass, goes into a bucket, so that if I ever do reload it, I have it on hand. So even if you have a couple boxes of factory ammo, you have brass. Just shoot it, and then we can start reloading those 40 shots and just keep doing it over and over again, and it can last you quite a while. So I'm not going to include the price of brass in our main calculation, but I will give you the numbers so that if you're in a situation where it's just impossible to get brass, you can add that into your calculation as well. So first of all, we need to look at primers. Primers used to be 2 cents each, and right now they've really gone up. So these are the prices to buy them in bulk. Bullets usually come in packages of 100 or 50. Powder, we can get 1 or 8 pounds. We worked on 1 pound. And then primers, that's the big price. But I think what we're all really interested in is what that costs per shot, right? So the primer, in normal times, let's say 7, even though, again, you used to be able to get it for 2, but I don't think we're ever going to go back to 2 cents. So I put 7 here for a large Magnum and 5 cents for a small or large rifle primer. For the 6.5 Creedmoor and 7 Mag. I just picked those 2 cartridges because they're common so that we can look at these. So essentially, right now you cannot go to the store and buy primers. You probably can't go to the store and buy powder. You probably can go to the store and pick up bullets and even brass. I'm seeing quite a bit available if you want to purchase the brass as well. So how do we find the powders and primers then? I can't tell you because we're on CommieTube, but I am using the common auction sites where people are selling primers and powder that they have. It's absurd prices, like 4 times what it would be in normal times, but you'll see how it kind of works out here with the total price. It's just what we got to do. So if we look at the 6.5 Creedmoor, even right now paying the absurdly inflated prices on these auction sites, you're essentially paying 23 cents per primer, which is crazy, 59 cents for the powder that goes in, and 51 cents for the bullet. So you're paying about $1.32 per shot. Well, if I can find factory 6.5 Creedmoor ammo right now, and I can't, but if you could, where I have seen it pop up at some points over the last couple of years, you know, it's usually the cheapest you're going to find is around $45. Some of it, I've paid $80 for a box of 6.5 Creedmoor during this craziness. And so we're taking a pretty conservative $2.75 per shot, about $55 a box, which seems pretty normal right now. And so now we see, wow, this is way cheaper to reload, but obviously there are other costs here. we've got to pay for the gear to start reloading. Well, I put together my perfect intermediate level reloading kit of what I would buy if somebody says, hey, I'm starting. I would never go buy a Hornady box and just start with a kit. Man, over time, I promise you, you're going to replace almost every single thing in that kit. And I'm not picking on Hornady. Same thing with our CBS, all of them. I just haven't found a beginner kit that's actually realistic that you're going to want to keep that long term. And so I think $895, with that, I know you can have like a solid kit. You're going to want to keep this for many, many years and replace very little of it. And so how long would it take at this delta between factory, which is more expensive than reloading, would it cost to equal that $895 that we've got to invest to get started? On 7 mag, it would take about 517 shots, and 6.5 Creedmoor, 628 shots. That's amazing to me because in the past, reloading has really just been if you are in love with it and you want to customize things, but it's not cheaper. As long as you aren't just always constantly buying new gear, of course it can be more expensive. But if you want to get a good, decent kit and use it for a long time, you absolutely can be reloading quite a bit cheaper than factory right now. Eventually factory is going to come down, but will we ever face another availability shortage like we have? Probably. I mean, it happens in cycles. It's happened many times before. And so to me, reloading is a necessary skill for any shooter other than the guy that just buys 3 boxes to go shoot his whitetail every year. If you're into this at all, and you probably are if you watch this channel, to me, reloading is a necessary skill. If you're wanting to get into it, I do have an article that I just barely posted on backfire.tv, just showing this exact kit of what I would buy for reloading, and it's stuff that's actually available. Now, some of you will disagree with the assumptions I made here. I just had to make some assumptions and find what's actually available, and that's totally fine. You could debate this a million ways, but the way I'm seeing it, reloading's looking pretty good right now. Even if things are hard to find, you can find them. You just got to go to the auction sites and pay crazy prices. See you guys.